This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports and Chaco. We're here at the final press conference with Colm Murphy. We're delighted to be joined once again by Belfast, probably maddest fighter, probably saying away, Colm Murphy. How are you?
Yeah, doing very good. Just did my first press conference there for this event coming up, and very happy with how it went, and really looking forward to getting weighed in tomorrow, and then Saturday getting in and getting the win.
I guess obviously you've obviously had your pro debut and everything else. You've obviously had all your fights here in the Europe Hotel. I've probably made a point in the build-up to this fight that probably whoever's the least nervous probably on fight night probably maybe fair to say, because the SSE Arena can be daunting for anybody. Do you starting to imagine obviously the ring walk and things like that? Is that sort of playing in your mind, or are you just confident in your ability to shine through on Saturday night?
Yeah, I have tried to get a bit mentally prepared for ring walk and stuff. So I remember even last time I was at the SSE Arena, I think I was watching Ryan Burnett fight against someone from, can't really say his name.
2017.
Yeah. So I even went back on YouTube, had a look at that fight, because try and get back into my head what this ring's going to look like. One of the factors you got to consider is it's not a small hall ring. It's actually going to be a bigger ring. So yeah, I feel like I am really ready for this. Obviously, don't need to go mad for the ring walk, because you don't want to be going in and having an adrenaline dump. So that's it. Calm and focused.
I think you're sort of the best person to ask on obviously adrenaline, because obviously you live off adrenaline, and when you're not in camp sort of in a way with the coffees and the runs and everything else. But I guess you have the more experience as an amateur. You're obviously good pals and everything else. At what stage is it obviously going to kick home that you're going to be fighting Rudy again, and you sort of have to flick that switch? When will that come for you?
Yeah, well, it's going to switch off as soon as I'm in the ring. I've already mentally prepared for this so much, and imagine Rudy, I've been watching his fights, visualising how he's going to move in that ring. So I think I'm going to be more than ready for this task that I've set about. I like Rudy and I have time for him, but once that ring goes, I'm going in there to stop him.
And I guess for you as well, the fact that probably Rudy believes he's probably the bigger puncher of the two of you, does that sort of bear? Is that what you want to hear? You want to hear him say he's a puncher? You want him to come forward so that you can obviously lay traps? Is that music to your ears, or Rudy says that he thinks he's going to stop you?
Yeah, we need this character in boxing, and I think Rudy's played his part in getting a real big hype for this fight. So I give hats off to him. You could even see him dancing in the ring yesterday, so he's having the time of his life, as he deserves. But when it comes to it, look, he's had the tears, the pro debut's fallen through, he's sweated it out, he's trained hard, but what you have to think of, in the last few years, he's shed no blood like I have. I've done all three, blood, sweat and tears, and I feel like those moments, such as the big amateur fights, and such as Brian Morena, small hall shops, real building ones against tough people, is going to be the defining factor. So that's the character.
I was just about to obviously touch on that. Obviously, Mark and Dee, obviously, a mixture of the both. They've obviously matched it very well, and I think the Brian Morena fight, I think you probably learnt more than that fight than probably you have in the last few years. You obviously in the amateurs, you probably used to use your head a lot, which you don't mind me saying, but you've really changed, and I think the Brian Morena fight probably shows how much is probably in the preparation for fights with Dee, that we're probably now seeing probably the very best. Well, we're not scratching the surface still yet, but I think that fight's probably learned you so much that it just builds you with confidence going into Saturday night.
Well, you just have to look at the fight straight afterwards. It's no messing. Took a fight, basically, two fights. Angel Gomez, then Rudy, basically announced after each other, and you could even see him with the Angel Gomez. He's given loads of people that I'm sure you know of plenty of hard fights, and he didn't land a glove on me. So that just goes to show you my improvement. And I think I don't need to play into all this stuff about it's going to be a bloodbath. I'm just going to stick to my boxing, and I don't think Farrell's going to be able to cope with that.
I guess the burning thing is obviously after Saturday night, you've obviously had that big fight card fighting in the SSE Arena. Obviously, it's going to be, I guess you probably don't want to look too far ahead, but when you sort of look at it and you go, right, I won this belt on Saturday night, where do I go from here? Where do you go? Do you go the Irish title? Do you want bigger fights? Is that hunger's there? You're going, right now I want Madison Square Garden, Mark Dunlop's a magic man. Is that the sort of discussion you're going to be having afterwards, going, Mark, I need another adrenaline rush here, I need the likes of an SSE, the OT Arena, Manchester Arena, you want the big fights?
Well, I'm not getting ahead of myself here, but I know Mark's running a show at the end of September And no matter what the result on Saturday, I'm still gonna fight. That's what I do. I love fighting. I'm so grateful to be here, to have a fight date on fight week. And I have to give a special thanks to everyone who's bought tickets for me from Europa and came and supported, took time out of their weekends to support me, because I feel like these people are the reason why I've actually got the chance to step up to the big stage, and I really just hope I'm going to bring that belt home for the Ormer Road.
We definitely echo that. Obviously, if people can't support you in the small hall circuit, when you get obviously the big opportunities, they're obviously now being repaid for the support they've given you obviously over the last year since you made your debut, and now you're going to obviously repay that faith. And who knows, the Europe Hotel might not be big enough for Colm Murphy afterwards. The ticket sales will go through the roof when you put on a 5-star performance.
Yeah, well, if Mark keeps running the shows, I'd be happy to fight on them. I don't think I should ever have that feeling where I'm too big for my boots for the Europa, because professionals used to apparently box in the Ulster Hall every week back in like the 1950s and 60s, so people should probably cut down on that talk and just take what makes sense. And definitely for me, what makes sense is to keep grinding, staying humble, and taking everything as they come and taking every opportunity.
Dee obviously touched on us the other day, obviously, about the fact that the stable's still unbeaten. You've obviously been vocal of it in the past as well. Your gym mate, Paddy McCrory, probably is a good guy for you to look up to in a way, because he's come through the small hall circuit, had to sell a lot of tickets. He's obviously now pretty much near the top of the card. What sort of fatherly figure has Paddy been? And I'm sure probably the minute your fight's finished, it's all attention focused on Paddy and him completing a double in the night.
Yeah, well, Paddy's put in an unbelievable camp, and everyone in the gym, and me included, and Dee, are all saying we've never seen Paddy in such great shape. And honestly, I actually can't wait for his fight. I'm a wee bit nervous because just hearing that guy, he does seem determined, but no doubt in my mind Paddy's going to knock him out and get the win. And I think he's a great role model, not even just for a young pro boxer like me, but amateur boxers themselves. Like, he really lives the life. He's professional, he's a gentleman, he doesn't have a big ego. He comes in and he will speak away to you. So even stuff like that, I feel like really pays off for you some way in life, and it'll pay off for Paddy for sure.
Well, thanks very much for your time. Obviously, Oliver, I guess you've less than 24 hours now of obviously do you weigh in. Obviously enjoy your occasion on Saturday night, and obviously no matter what the result is, I hope the two of you obviously showcase your skills very well, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you afterwards.
Yeah, we'll be catching up, and I'll have that belt wrapped around my shoulder, you can guarantee. Thank you.
Cheers, Colm, take care.